Now, I know I cover this man a lot. I do cover him a lot, but I don't hate him. I dislike him vehemently. I think he is a disgusting individual, and I don't like that he is not considered the way he should be. And this is something that I think a lot of people tend to give him a lot of like length and a lot of credit that, oh, well, he's not that bad. And of course, we're talking about Hasan Piker. He should be considered like what he is, the Nick Fuentes of the left. I don't hate Nick Fuentes. I don't hate anybody. I try not to hate anybody. I try to be like a pretty solid individual. I might say I hate somebody, but I don't actually hate you. I don't have time for hate. These are internet personalities. I've never met them in person. I don't know them personally. I have no actual logical reason to hate them. I don't like them. I don't like Nick Fuentes. I think he's a clown. I think Hasan's a clown. And I think there needs to be a realization that there is this thing called like the political pipeline. And if you end up in Nick Fuentes, you've gone too fucking far. If you end up Hasan Piker, you've gone too fucking far. And then there's all the cronies that it lists along the way. Like Nick Fuentes has got his Baked Alaska and Ethan Ralph, and then your Hasan's got your Frogan, the old and then Vosh is in that same category, and you got these clowns over here that are extreme leftists, extreme right wing, and if you end up at these points, you have taken the wrong train. You've gone too far, and the fact that the people on the left aren't looked at when, oh, you can like be a big bomb evil group supporter. If you say the T word in the first minute of the video, you get in trouble. But you can be one of those T-word supporters, right? And then all of a sudden you're getting to be on anime podcasts and everybody's your friend. I think it's gross. I think I saw that he was on the Trash Taste where he was like talking about like being like the Blue Lock being like homosexual or something, and I was like, why is people pretending like Hasan isn't a bad guy? Like, why are we pretending that he isn't like a vicious political person when he is? But that's kind of what this video is going to talk about. I know a little bit about this from like clips on, I saw like a 3-second clip from like Trash Taste on Twitter, and I'm like, ugh, Hasan, not a good look. Now, I'm not saying you can't work with these people, but you should expect backlash if you have these people on. If I were to have Hasan on my stream to talk to him, even if I wasn't talking about politics, I know he is a contentious individual that I will get backlash for having on. It's the same thing if I were to have Nick Fuentes on. I would expect that backlash, and it would be well deserved, especially if I just glazed him, or Hasan or Nick Fuentes. If I glazed them, I would be open to criticism.
So on February 21st, Hasan was on the Trash Taste podcast, and there's a flood of backlash in the comment section about Trash Taste having this dude on their show. Hasan is aware of the backlash, and he does not seem happy, making a number of responses addressing it. So let's take a look at all this stuff and let me know what you think. First off, some analytics. The video currently has 293,250 views, with 15,566 dislikes, giving it a 49% dislike ratio. And this is
which to be honest, anytime I've done a video on Hasan, I actually end up about this ratio, or it's either I got a few more likes or I got a few more dislikes. It's usually because Hasan has a very big audience, and I think that's where a lot of this poll comes from. And I can understand why a podcast would want him on, but I do think you also have to understand what type of door you're opening and what you're inviting in. And I'm not saying you can't platform people. I'm never going to be the guy where you can't have somebody on, right? I think that anytime you're talking out against free speech, that's wrong. But you got to know that the criticism's coming when you're having somebody that's this controversial.
This is after Hasan directed his viewers to essentially combat what he's calling the brigading. So presumably before he did that, this was an even worse ratio. I'll show you the clip where he does issue that statement. Once again, we'll go over all that stuff, and these analytics are provided by jabrek.net. First, a brief clip of the podcast itself. Just seems fitting to play at least like, short portion of that. Then we'll take a look at some of the comments so you can get some more of the context.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm joined once again by the boys, and we have a returning guest because you're back in Japan now.
Hell yeah, I'm here permanently now. I've decided. This time it's for real.
Yeah, for real.
Well, looks like Japan's got themselves a new Nepo socialist. There you go, dude. You got the king of nepotism over there in Japan. So you guys are big up in the world. We're gonna see some big moves in anime. it's gonna be like just all angry about Trump. So that's good, I guess. We got the guys that pretend that anime doesn't have any political messaging behind it. Now we'll have political messaging behind it. So that's good.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, now that my country's on fire, I chose Japan to just stay here.
All right.
Whoa.
But yeah, we got Hasan. He's back.
Yeah.
That's been,
Oh yeah, no politics. Sorry.
Yeah.
No politics, all right? I don't.
Yeah, dude, did you see how uncomfortable they all got when he brought up the politics? Like here's the thing, it's tough to have these like political guys on and them not talk about politics. If you see somebody that's like constantly political, I mean, I try to, when I go on to somebody that other people show, or I have a certain opinion, I will talk to them previously and say, do you not want me to cover this? Do you want me to do this or whatever? And I've had it in the past where I have said some of the stuff and they've cut some of the stuff I've said, and that's absolutely fine because it's their show at the end of the day. But again, yeah, you kind of invited the biggest fucking political streamer, psycho political streamer out there onto your show. Why wouldn't he talk about it? He's going to slip a few in.
Well, actually,
I love how they can't get 30 seconds into the episode without this dude bringing politics up. Seriously, 30 seconds. Anyways, taking a look at the top comments, we've got, I'd prefer my anime discussion not to involve a guy who celebrated the death of innocent civilians in no less than 2 different recent modern conflicts.
And let's keep in mind, the day this podcast came out, he was doing the same thing on his live stream.
Carries water for authoritarian regimes and celebrates terrorists indiscriminately attacking civilian vessels at sea, abducting their crews, and who still stone women to death for not obeying their every command. Thanks. Another one saying, I've been a viewer of the Anime Man and Giga for more than a decade. As a female viewer, I am absolutely disgusted seeing 3 men, the biggest in the anime YouTube space, happily endorse an R-word apologist. I looked up to you guys when I was young. I thought you were different. I'm incredibly hurt and disappointed seeing this. And right below that comment, another one that reads, who thought having Hasan is a good idea? This isn't just a simple drama that can be ignored. That's like saying 9/11 is just drama, then proceed to have Bin Laden or Al-Qaeda members as guests to talk about their favorite video games.
Saying that he's not, that's a little bit of a stretch. The 9/11 and Bin Laden thing is a bit of a stretch. I don't think he's that bad. He is bad, don't get me wrong. What Hasan has said and what Hasan has put on his streams are pretty bad, but I don't think he's Al-Qaeda bad. Let's be honest.
Comments talk about how people are dropping trash taste over this collab. For example, this one saying, I've been here since the start. I'm done. Similarly, right below that, this one reading, Texan here. I can say with the absolute state of confidence that I can say for the rest of us here in this beautiful state, we have and will never tolerate terrorists and their sympathizers. We delete them. If he's your friend, be a good friend and have a seriously long talk with him about changing his ways or changing his name.
That's cringe. This is cringe. Like, oh, you're supposed to sit him down, say your opinions are wrong, have right think. I hate when Hasan does this, and I don't like that this guy's doing that. There is no right think. I mean, yes, are his positions like vehemently bad? Absolutely. And if he asked to be on my show, and I was like, listen, dude, I don't get into political, if I didn't get into the political realm at all, I didn't touch my fucking tippy fucking toe, I didn't put the tip of my penis anywhere near the political realm, and I was just like, I do an anime channel, I do a gaming channel, I don't want you in here because I don't want to deal with the stuff you've said. We don't have that overlap. I don't think it's a good overlap. I don't think it's going to be good for my channel. That's the type of conversation I think you could have, but to have this thing that it's like, oh, well, you need to coach him into your right think. That's just a bad, it's the same thing when Hasan said that you should take anybody who has capitalistic ideologies and put them in education camps.
Time listening to you, gentlemen, but this is the end of the road for me. I'll pray for your wisdom and discernment. Stay safe, boys. And right below that, another one reading, this is the last thing produced by Trash Taste that I will ever watch. More comments talking about dropping Trash Taste right below those. For example, this one also reading, been following both Joey and Gigux since 2015, but now I'm unsubscribing. Not gonna watch someone who endorses terrorism by hosting this guy. Once again, those comments.
And now you might think, well, should there be someone subscribing from them? Well, if you don't like that person and you don't like that they're like, if I had a show, right? If I had a podcast like Creepcast, if I was watching Creepcast and all of a sudden they had Nick Fuentes on or Hasan, I don't want to watch that. Like I'm not gonna want to watch that episode. Now, will I leave them forever because they associate with somebody I don't like? I don't think so. I don't think I would go to that vehemently of a thing. I think that we should be in the realm of, oh, well, some people like people that I don't like. That happens. It's an understandable thing to have. But I do understand where there is going to be a lot of people that think it's disgusting that you associate with somebody that extreme, and that comes with extremism. When you have somebody that's extremist on your thing, you are going to get an extreme reaction from people.
These were just some of the comments that you can find by sorting by top comments. And it seems like there's thousands, if not tens of thousands of comments where people share similar sentiment. Interestingly enough, the pinned comment is from Trash Taste, and they say, "We don't and have never deleted comments on any episodes." And this is because a number of people have been accusing them of deleting comments that are critical of Hasan.
There is something that I have to say about this. YouTube will hide a lot of comments. I've had times where I have seen the comment and I've had to like unhide it and like go through steps to make sure that that comment's unhid. It'll put it in this for review category, and if you don't check that for review that often, and it's like kind of out of the way to get to this for review section, you will see that there a lot of comments get hid by the YouTube algorithm in general.
For example, this tweet that reads, "Trash Taste is getting heat for having Hasan Piker on the podcast and then deleting comments critical of him." Included are screenshots, and we'll take a look at these real quick. This one reading, "Sad to see they had to delete so many comments. I like Trash Taste, but this is very disappointing. Insecure much?" The second screenshot reading, "Deleting all the comments hating on Hasan is wild though." And the next screenshot reading,
This is so funny though. If they are deleting comments that are critical of Hasan, if what would be funny now? This is conspiracy brain. Like, listen, the turn of the freaking frog's gay. What if Hasan Piker's sitting there? He's sitting there and he gets really angry and he texts over Trash Taste. He's like, you better get these comments deleted. And then they delete the comments. Well, that doesn't look really good when he would delete the comments for Ethan Klein. I went full Alex Jones for you guys. You're welcome. You can jerk off to that later. It was the best, Alex Jones. It was the greatest. Everyone knows. I don't say it. I don't say it's the greatest. But a lot of people tell me it's a really good Alex Jones voice. But like, here's the thing. Like, it would be funny if Hasan saw the comments, was mad about the comments, and then told them to remove the comments, and they did out of respect for him, and he didn't do it for Ethan Klein. That would be funny. That would be like a cherry on the tip of the vagina for me.
Funny how this comment section suddenly started glazing Hasan after ripping him apart. Don't think we didn't notice that the top comment got removed. That account making a follow-up tweet that reads, "Even the Trash Taste Reddit wasn't impressed." Going on to quote, "First time seeing a 50% like to dislike ratio on a Trash Taste episode. Now those comments are just gone? Is the person who manages the channel actually deleting them?" Taking a look at the provided screenshots, we can see there's actually a lot more to that comment. The full comment reading, "The first thing I did when this episode came out was scroll down to the comments. There were hundreds of them expressing the fact that they did not like having Hasan back. Some of them had almost 1,000 likes. Now those comments are just gone? Is the person who manages the channel actually deleting them? Please let this just be a YouTube glitch, because otherwise, wow, that would be low." As we already went over, Trash Taste made a very brief response denying that any comments were deleted. Still, it's very interesting that comments on both Reddit and YouTube claim that these deletions are indeed happening, even on the Trash Taste subreddit itself. And so, as always, come to your own conclusions. Speaking of the Trash Taste subreddit, let's hop over there and take a look. Specifically, this post that reads, "Seems like Hasan has brigaded his community to quote-unquote get in and actively counter the brigade." The comment section, and linking to a tweet that we'll take a look at next. As for the post itself, it got 563 upvotes before being locked by the moderators, with this mod leaving a pinned comment, a sticky comment rather, that says, "For anyone reading this, if you are not interested in talking about the actual content of the Trash Taste podcast episode, please don't make comments. All you're doing is making our volunteering harder, where we'll just have to lock certain posts and remove posts as well." Yeah, I'm sure that's going to help the situation. Well, this presents a very fun opportunity.
Well, and here's the thing I wanted to say about like Hasan's community. He has a very like locked to him community. They are all their little hive mind, and if they see one person say one wrong thing, they will brigade you as hard as freaking possible, dude. They are one of the most vicious online communities out there, and that's not me saying they're bad people, because I don't think a lot of them are inherently bad, but I do think that when you have this weird like creator to fan interactions like Hasan does with a community like that, you do build a very toxic space to where whenever anybody criticizes them, they go fucking nutso banana mode. I mean, I've criticized like people like Ben Shapiro and who else? I don't know. I've criticized a bunch of different people, and I think the worst two reactions I've gotten were Hasan and Destiny, and they are some of the most have some of the most vehemently cult-like audiences I have ever seen. It's one of those things that's what happens when you have like you're an extremist. Is again, extremists attract other extremists, and what do extremists do? Nothing else other than be like terminally online and look for anything that might disagree with her opinion.
Let's take a look at some of the top comments on that.
Again, if you want to be mad at me for having that take and you want to comment it below and then be really mad about it, that's fine, dude. That's fine. I'm not ever upset that you have a different opinion than me. That is completely cool. I'm not going to be upset by it. It's not going to ruin my day. You are more than welcome to criticize me all you want. I'm just spitting facts right here.
That post that the mod apparently doesn't like. Well, at least ones that the mod or mods didn't yet remove. For example, this top response that talks about how pathetic it is to issue some kind of counter brigade, and how that's also a brigade. The next one reading, yeah, that'll solve the problem for sure. And this one saying, we wait for another Connor damage control short video, lol. Right below that, this comment reading, great, another creator telling his community to counteract the hate. Looks like this is going to be more than a 12-hour drama. Then there's this one that reads, of all the things he could have done to calm the flame, he just sends it into a blaze. This one's really funny because of how things played out. So this comment says, will the mods A, ban Hasan for brigading, B, delete this post, cue Jeopardy music. Turns out it was actually option C, lock the post and threaten to remove comments. Okay, with that context, let's hop over to the tweet that was linked in that post in the OP. That being this one that reads, Hasan Malds, while reading hate comments from his Trash Taste podcast episode, directs his audience to quote-unquote get in and actively counter the brigade. And here's the clip.
Mr. President, the second Piker has hit the trash taste. Why would you do this, Hasan? Really? The terrorist endorser? Shame. Too bad. I get irritated from just seeing his face. The guy has said so many profoundly idiotic things that I honestly cannot listen to a word from him. The brigade is on, folks. Get in and actively counter the brigade. They botted the video immediately. Lol is at 2.5k dislikes.
I mean, this is directing your audience to do shit. I mean, this is where I always tell people like, don't go don't go attack people. So you see somebody, if you're like a vehement member of my audience and you love everything I do, and you see somebody criticize me, do not go attack them. There's no point. I mean, if you want to put your opinion on there and you watched it and you watched the entire video and watched all the critiques of me, and then you want to counteract it and make on your own volition, that's fine. I don't care. I have no control over you. You are your own fucking sentient individual. But I am never going to tell you, oh, I don't like this person. Go, I don't like the reaction this videos get. Go change that reaction. I want you to go make a difference, guys. I want you to brigade the shit out of this. That's cringe, dude. I don't like having a control over my audience to the point that I can say like mush dogs and then you guys
You really upset the weebs this time? Yeah.
That dude in chat trying to blame all the dislikes on some like dislike bot is just the icing on the cake. But wait, there's another clip to take a look at. This one that reads, Chatter tells Hasan he's out of touch, which he didn't appreciate.
Because sometimes we'll stare into the darkness on this broadcast. Like we'll look at like what they're saying, and they just can't comprehend how like journalists are still covering this guy in a positive way. What the f is going on? And it's like,
well, yeah, no, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. It's 100% glazing. You are an extremist, and I think that the like Fox News and them have I don't. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. If they're still fucking platforming Nick Fuentes, let me know. But I'm pretty sure everyone's condemned Nick Fuentes. And I think the same should be treated on Hasan. He is an extremist. He has very extreme left-wing beliefs. So why the fuck is he not treated as such? That is my thing. Now, do I want him off the internet? No. Do I think he should get banned? No. Do I think that he's responsible for his chat and shit that's been a criticism? No. I think that his hypocrisy is constantly on display. I think a lot of things he says are absolutely disgusting, and I think he's an extremist. And I will stand on the position that I don't believe in people being deplatformed and attacking them because, oh well, I don't like their views, so they shouldn't have a platform. I really don't like that. I've never liked that, because the best way to combat this is by just people realizing, because there's a counter opinion to it, that he's a fucking insane, not insane, I don't know how crazy he is, but he's a fucking extremist. And then other people will say, look how extreme this take is compared to a more rational version of what this same problem has. Well, here's a more rational solution. There was going to be people that are more left, or that like normal left wing, that aren't like as fucking far out there as him, or they might even be pretty far left wing, and they'll still say, I don't know, dude, I'm not big on what Hasan's doing. I think there's a better direction to go for, and that will combat this extremist speech. I mean, it's plain and simple. I mean, that's what happened to Nick Fuentes. I mean, well, that, and he got kicked off the platform, but people still will look at Nick Fuentes as a fucking clown in right-wing media and right-wing YouTubers, because he is a fucking clown, and Hasan should be treated as such. And I hate that the media holds so much water for this man when he said and showed so many disgusting traits, but they're still willing to call him like the Joe Rogan of the left when he is the Nick Fuentes of the left.
Dude, why do you think? You think like a 40-year-old journalist has no political convictions of their own? Like, you think they're going to be deluded by like a drama farmer on YouTube, like a slop tuber, and be like, wow, this is a real bad guy?
I do hate when he uses this argument like, oh, like he's above this somehow, when all he does is sit here and react and clip himself reacting and talking, and he's slop tubing. He's doing the same thing I'm fucking doing right now. Right now, he's doing the same thing, and except for sometimes he spends like 20 minutes eating a fucking chicken salad and not saying anything while terrorist propaganda plays in the background. He literally is doing the exact same thing as slop tubers, but because he is this political figure, he thinks he has risen above it, because he's not a drama guy. He's a political guy, which is brings you some sort of extra merit when that just means nothing. You're a political slop streamer, and that's all you are. That's all you should be, with your weird extremist takes.
You think they haven't seen internet harassment campaigns before? You are so out of touch, holy hell. No, brother, I'm not the one who's out of touch. The people that are going, we hate you because we think this person is an evil person, me, okay? We think your friend that you know better, okay, is actually secretly an evil person because we've seen YouTube videos from rabid haters, is an active line of attack.
Well, and to be like, if we're gonna be extremely, and I'm talking extremely charitable to Hasan on a level that's just almost on the verge of brain damage, let's say every single one of those clips are taken out of context. You have to compile an hour and 40-minute long video from somebody you used to do a podcast with, who sits very vehemently on the left side, to then compile it and even say the things, show the things that you said on the podcast, in context on the podcast with him. That to me is not all drama tubing anymore. That takes it in another thing. That goes, there is no charitable for that. Whether it's because you and Ethan had a bad fallout or not. I'm not the biggest Ethan Klein fan. I think what Ethan Klein did in the whole, I'm going to pull the ladder up behind me, I want YouTube to censor more, I hate that. I think it's gross. I think the fact that he grew doing all this edgy shit, and then once he got to the peak of YouTube, now he wants to pull the ladder up for everybody else, I think that's disgusting. But in the same regard, I can look at what he said and say, look, dude, he's putting you in context from your podcast and showing the grossness that you're saying. It's literally from the show you guys did together. You say drama tubing because you're throwing a blanket statement over it. That's taking out every single out all the other clips. That's just like you talking about putting people that are capitalistic in re-education camps. That's you covering up for the Uyghur genocide, and that's also you covering up for there was another one that was on the podcast. Anyways, moving back on to the actual point. It's like he puts you in context, on display from you guys' interactions to where it's like, how do you jump that to, oh well, fucking Nick Diorio and Wooly Mac and fucking that stupid Turkey Tom guy. They're just drama tubers. They're just farming clicks. Dude, that was your own homie, bro. Your own homie came out against you and put you on blast. It goes past that. And that's why that video was so powerful and so big and has had so much effect, is because it wasn't just a drama tuber who did it. Yes, he echoed a lot of the same sentiments that the drama tube, in the commentary community has levied against you. But at the same time, he added an extra context, which before you always said that context was missing. So that's even me being saying that all those other clips were out of context. And that's so fucking way more generous than I should be to Hasan. But with that generosity, he still looks like a fucking clown.
The assumption that you, as a random commentator, a random commenter online, is not out of touch, but I am, because what you expect in terms of retaliation towards someone like myself is not matching the reality, is hilarious.
I can't believe how perfect.
And this is fair retaliation. This is way more fair retaliation, I think, is where you start to see a shift in the general consensus of how people are starting to feel about you, where they're starting to realize that that for a long time, all these different streamers and stuff had you on. You would go on, you're like, ha 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 ha, I'm Hasan. Look at me, I'm just one of the guys. And then you go to his stream where he's saying vile shit, and people are starting to realize that, wow, dude, maybe he's been extremist the whole time, which he fucking has. Dude straight up shoved Muslim genocide under the rug to cover up for the Communist Party, which I will harp down on again and again, because I'm sorry, you can't be, oh, I'm always for the Muslim strife, but then pretend that it then hide a genocide using Chinese propaganda. And you then have the world starting to realize that, wow, dude, you kind of suck. And then once it starts noticing that, you're saying, well, no, you're the one out of touch. I'm doing just fine. Nothing's happening. Dude, why is Asmongold bigger than you now? Why are these things happening? Why are these changes starting to go against you? It's because the consensus is changing. You don't have that iron grip you used to, because people are starting to realize how crazy you fucking are. And wow, the world changed. You're not the giggity schmoodle anymore. You're a little fucking cum goblin. That's all you are.
That clip is. Dude's really trying to sound not out of touch by citing journalists. Like, oh, 40-year-old journalists support me. As if the opinion of some random journalists prove he's a morally good and not out of touch person. He doesn't even realize that the majority of people despise journalists and don't trust them. It's probably one of the most out of touch things he actually could have said to use for his argument of apparently not being out of touch. And lastly, there's this tweet that reads, Hasan denies his Lolcow status, and in the clip he's actually still going on about the whole out of touch thing. So let's take a look.
I do think it's funny that whenever he gets these criticisms and stuff, he just deflects. He is the king of deflecting. He never actually takes accountability. He never tries to understand any other direction. And a lot of people say that he's audience trapped, and kind of maybe I don't really think it's even that. I think he's sitting in this position that he doesn't think he has to answer to anyone, which, to be honest, you don't have to answer to anybody when you're your own boss and you're here, people are here to watch you. But he's got this ego narcissism problem going on where he thinks he's never wrong, and that's the problem with a lot of these political commentators, whether it's the right or left. They all have these egos on them like they're the most intelligent person in the room, fucking always.
Do you not understand that? Things will keep shocking you over and over again if you are so echo chambered and hug boxed that you genuinely believe that I am.
Okay, Hasan, you're the fucking king of echo chambers. You are the fucking god of echo chambers. You have Twitch sucking your little fucking wiener every fucking day, singing you happy birthday, while like taking down anybody who disagrees with you. They're not as egregious about it anymore, but they're still pretty egregious with their ban hammer on dissenting opinions. So you live in an echo box, buddy, or an echo chamber, buddy. Your audience is a fucking little cult of echo chamber land. So what are you talking about?
Am considered lolcow by anyone that is a normal human being who goes outside. Okay? That's the problem. You're like a 40-year-old dude on Twitch right now being like, you're the one who's out of touch, Hasan, because in spite of the fact that you are one of the most popular content creators on Twitch.
You know what the biggest thing that makes you a lolcow is by denying you're not a lolcow. When you're vehemently like you're getting called a lolcow, everybody's making all the channels that also make lolcow content are making content on you. That's when you know you're lolcow, and that's exactly what's happened to Hasan Piker. That's exactly what's going down. He is steadily heading toward that lolcow status, but I mean, just because you're a lolcow doesn't mean you have to be like a niche fucking weird person online. There is plenty of lolcows out there that have big audiences. I mean, look at Boogie2988. He had a massive following. Now he doesn't anymore because, like, again, he is a lolcow. But Hasan is kind of heading that way. He's no longer top dog. He's slowly descending. People are slowly starting to realize how extreme he is, and the more he gets in or corners himself, the worse it's going to get for himself. And that's what I'm here for, because I'm not covering him because I want to cover politics. I'm covering him because I'm covering an internet personality. I'm here for drama. I'm here for fun. Anytime I cover any of these guys, it's here because I want to clown on them, because I like clowning on drama and fun and chaos in the world. I'm a chaos guy. I could live and breathe and like swim in the semen of chaos, and I love it.
I still think me and my homies think you're a bad guy. And the more you don't realize that other people don't see it the way that you do, the more you just make up conspiracies in your mind. You can say womp womp all day, but the real womp is happening to you, old man. Calm down.
Why does he keep using this whole like 40-year-old thing? Like, oh yes, the 40-year-old journalists support me. And then this time he's mad at the chatter, saying he's like a 40-year-old dude on Twitch. But anyways, I think it's really funny that he's talking about conspiracy theories, but had nothing to say about conspiracy theories when there was this chatter saying like all the dislikes are just some like bots disliking the video. So when it's convenient for him, things are conspiracy theories, but when it's not convenient for him, they're not conspiracy theories apparently.
You know how to tell when Hasan's talking or saying a bunch of bullshit? His mouth is moving. Oh, dad joke. Suck my wiener.
And let me get this part straight. So his defense for being a good person is that journalists support him and that he's one of the most viewed people on Twitch. Is that really the argument that he's going with? The last thing we'll take a look at is this tweet that says, Hasan rallies the troops in his Twitter community. The screenshot provided reading, I don't think it's all organic trash taste fans, to be honest. I got lots of weirdos roaming the web recently. It's okay to correct the record, in my opinion. They get away with saying a lot of totally ridiculous things. Everyone is capable of making up their mind if they simply watch the stream. Yeah, people watch the stream and make up their own opinion, but when that...
Yeah, dude, well, this is the thing, too. It's like, oh, well, you have wrong think. You have wrong think. It's not organic. It's wrong think. It's weaponized opinions. When Hasan literally weaponized the audience and said, go fix it. Go fix it for me. Be little good simp cum goblins. I want you all to go in there, put as many likes, as many comments. We got to combat this. We got to combat this now. We got to make a change happen right now. But he's saying other people's are coming at him and attacking it because he's there, and they're saying that they're weaponizing everything. It's like, dude, you're on camera utilizing your audience to go have the counter effect. Now, you could say, well, it doesn't seem like weaponizing. I mean, if it was a video he didn't like and he did the same thing, the same words, but on a video he didn't like to go berate him, that's weaponizing. So it's just weaponizing it in the same way. It's just a weapon in his mind for good this time. It's a weapon that's a benefit for these other people, but he's still weaponizing it.
That opinion's negative, then it's not organic, it's not authentic. That can't be right. It's got to be bots. It's got to be brigading. Anyways, let me know what you think about this whole trash taste Hasan situation. I believe that's the most important stuff that we went over. As always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my coverage, and if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Have a great week ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, see, this is the whole thing. I actually really agreed with almost everything in this video. I think the main thing that I try to be generous in the fact that I hate when people utilize the, well, he didn't like block the chat, or he didn't like police his chat for Ethan. That's a stupid argument. He shouldn't have to police his chat. You take like some of the things, oh well, these clips are out of context. It's like, yeah, dude, how many of these fucking clips? How many? And you look at, I feel bad, kind of bad for the trash taste guys, but I also don't. It's like you took one of the most contentious people on the internet. You put them on your podcast, and you expected no one to say anything. Now, I'm sure they expected some pushback. I didn't think they probably didn't expect that much pushback. But the fact that people like his own old podcast host is out there just rallying against him right now. You have so many people that are just so done with him. He's been viciously put out misinformation for a very long time. It's just like you put somebody on that's that radical, and you're going to get a radical response. It's just plain and simple. It's just like if I were to go out to somebody and say "fuck you," and they'd be like, "Well, fuck you." Radical begets radical, violence beget violence. It's just how it works. You go out there, you find somebody that's they might be popular, but they're controversial. You're gonna get a controversial response. That's just how it works. It's how it works, and the fact that like, they were worried about this. They started getting a little worried about this pushback. I mean, I again feel bad for them, but what do you expect? What do you expect? I'm not saying don't ever have the guy on again, but if this is the type of stuff you want to avoid, and I've heard that they have avoided associating with some people in order to not get pushback on them. Why would you go out of your way to work with Hasan? Like, that's just kind of, he's one of the most contentious people on the internet, and I don't know, but I thought it was a good video. Again, Hero, I think he makes pretty solid content, even though I don't always 100% agree with his takes. I do think he makes good content, but I think that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe.